Okay, what's up, dudes? Alright, see our little cat over here? This cat can climb walls. Okay, so we got some new extensions that we added in the other day. We gotta restart a couple of them. Apparently, if you restart one of them, it restarts the rest, which is cool. So, I haven't coded in a few days, blah 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 blah. You know the story, life and things that happen, and yeah, so anyway. Gonna code today, obviously, that's why I'm here. So let's just jump right in. We're going to put the date. I got a new keyboard. It is a low profile keyboard. Oh my god, it's so much better. I should have bought a new keyboard so long ago. For some reason I thought it was like cool to have one of those clicky keyboards, like mechanical keyboards that somehow like I don't know. I didn't really like. I had used laptop keyboards, which are very low profile. You know, the keys are like very low, close to like the base of the keyboard. I don't know the word for it. Anyway, that's like one I have. It's pretty low profile. It's a little bit thinner. It's just like smaller all around. It's so much better. Oh my god, it's so much better, bro. I got a new headset coming in because I know my mic cuts in and out. So yeah, some minor changes, hopefully to improve my typing speed and accuracy, and fix that audio because I know my mic cuts out sometimes. So last time we worked on it was the 6th, 4 days ago. We did 2 hours. We stopped at line 27 in custom time list, and we are reviewing locks to ensure they are properly set to standard / re-entrant forms. So we want to make sure that if they're supposed to be re-entrant, they are, and if they're not, then they aren't. So this is 27 in custom time list. So let's open up custom time list, and as you can see, we have these colored files. So you pick your color, and green, and that's just a, you know, it's pretty cool. So let us begin. We're at line, okay, here we go. Stopped here reviewing locks to ensure they are properly standard re-entrant locks. Alright, so I guess I'll just do Control Shift F lock. It looks like that's what we were doing, and we were in custom time list. So apparently we had already like done all these. I don't want to assume though. I'll just can start at the top because I don't know if I did this file. Okay. Okay, so here's gonna be our first question. We have current game clickable card list lock. Clickable card list lock. And although methods of this list are locked, we still need to lock accessing the actual list. Okay, so yeah, let's see if this is, and we can put a bookmark here, and we do that with, what is it, Control-Alt-Z? Yeah, so see that little blue bookmark that just popped up right here? You might not be able to see it, but that's one of the new add-ons we got. And now whenever I do Control-Alt-N for next, I think, it will bring us to the next bookmark regardless of what file we're in, even if we're in a different file. Bam. So that's really cool. So now I don't have to like write it down in the terminal. I can just you know, add it right there. So let us look up this list. So we're gonna do Control Shift F on the lock. So the question is, what is this? Does this need to be a re-entrant lock? And I don't think it does need to be. Just thinking off the top of my head, I don't think that the clickable card list would need to be a re-entrant. The only way it would need to be would be if we acquired the lock, and then while we were acquiring the lock, we attempted to acquire the lock again on the same thread. So and I just don't see that being the case. It's really not so simple as just imagining it, because technically we could like grab the lock and then we would well, let's see where the lock is used, because that's really what matters, right? Duh. Yeah, so this is not that complicated. Don't overcomplicate it. With current game clickable card list, so we assign the card group. That's not going to require recursive. Yeah, so that's safe. This is just an assignment, and then that's where it's created. So it's literally only used one time. That can't be true. Although methods of this list are locked, we still need to access. We still need to lock accessing the actual list. Clickable card list, but the method. Okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. So anytime we like assign the lock to a new variable, we then have to look for, you know, instances of that, because it's just under a new namespace. It's still the same object though. So we would use it whenever we append or pop or clear, but that's not going to conflict with the that's not going to conflict with the other use of the lock, which is only used whenever that list is assigned. So yeah, we're safe on this one. I can with surety say that that's true. Okay, so we have our bookmark. That's where we had left off. So let's go over here to. I think I like inhaled pepper or something. I feel like pepper in my nose. So we didn't have like a list of where we stopped or whatever. I can just like add this in notes, I guess. I don't really need to do this, but I guess it's, you know, whatever. Maybe I'll wonder. Custom time list locks. Clickable card list and clicked cards list. Lock. Clicked cards list. Lock. Are proper form. They are not reentrant locks and do not need to be. Cool. Alright. So we'll put notes, we'll make it pink or salmon. That's not salmon. It's not the color of salmon at all. Salmon is pink, my dude. That was like, I don't even know. It's like caramel. Anyway. Okay, so where did we, okay, so we had a bookmark, so we'll just do Control Alt N for next. Bam, there we go. So we can close this out, and we can remove Control Z, and now we can continue Control Shift F and do lock again. And it would be cool if it like showed us where we were, you know? Well, if we were on a certain line, like I just clicked this line, if it showed us in this search bar, we'll just have to start at the top. So 241. Oh, there it is. Alright, so that one is safe. That one is safe as well. Input text final lock. Alright, so let's check this one. And input text final is not a calculated property. It is just a regular attribute. It's a regular lock. You know what? Real quick, let me copy this, and then we're gonna, well, do this again. Over here, and we'll put a bookmark. Control Z, and then we're gonna go back to clickable card list lock, and I actually just want to put verified proper type of lock, non-reentrant. And I do have to get a little bit, like I'm still getting used to this keyboard. I've only had it for a couple of days, but the keys do feel a little bit gummy, just a little bit of resistance to them. But overall, I think it's an improvement over my other keyboard. And then let's change this to be clicked cards list lock. We're going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to verify, put a little note here, verify proper type of lock, non-reentrant. Alright, so now we'll do Control Shift F, and we'll put input active lock. No, it was input text final. Oh yeah, I don't even have to wonder because I have Control Alt N, but I have to go back over here. There it is. So it's input text final lock. So let's search for this. Alright, so where we use this lock is, oh, I forgot to most of my shrim. Alright, let's go back to it. Peak focus, boys. Peak focus, dude. Okay, so what we got going on here? Clear game to input text final lock. So this is in client dir check. So this is client side. Well, no, this is you. Dir check is used client side, server side. So with this lock, we set the attribute, and yeah, well, since this one is not associated with a property, then I'm already sure that this one is safe. Yeah, so this one is safe. So we can put verified proper type. Isn't it already copied? Verified proper type of lock. Alright, so there goes another one. And you can now do Control Alt N. So that was the next one. Do Control Alt Z to get rid of this. Do Control Shift F, lock, enter, and then we're still in client. And we were at line 330, so we'll just scroll down until we get to that point. Alright. So now we have the text input active lock, so let's check this one out. And we'll put a bookmark here, Control Alt Z, Control Shift F, enter, and then okay, so this one uses the lock in dir check, and if this one is also not associated with a calculated property, then we should be safe. Text input active lock. Yep, so that one's safe as well. So we can go right here and copy this message and paste it in right here. Alright, Control Shift F, lock, enter, go back over here, Control Alt N to go to our bookmark, and we can Control Alt Z that one. We're at client 333, so let's just keep going. Alright, so that one is checked. Alright, so now we're in custom append list. Yeah, those reentrant locks are... Uh-oh. Looks like I made a boo-boo here. How did I do this? I imported the C2, change attribute list lock twice. How the f did I manage that? See, when I see myself making mistakes like that, bro, I lose all faith in myself. I'm not gonna lie. When I see him making that sort of mistake, that is just like inexcusable. Alright, so now we have the clickable card. Yeah, we already verified these. This is in custom time list. Yeah, so we're safe on this. Now we have, alright, those are just imports. And choose multiple cards re-entrant lock. Must be re-entrant lock due to recursive access via click card active setter. Okay, cool. So that one's already been reviewed. I remember we went through that. Yeah, we already went through that. That's a little bit of a complicated ordeal. Clickable card list lock. We already did that one. Clicked cards list lock. Did that one. Clicked card lock. I guess we'll check that one next since it's next in line. So we'll copy it. Control Shift F. And clicked card lock. Clicked card. Let's just see where it's used. So it's used when we modify clicked card or when we access it. Okay, yeah, that's it. So, well, since this one is associated with a think about this, we would have to have acquired the lock, which means we would have had to access or modify click card, and then we would within that have to have accessed it again for it to be recursive. And I don't think that could happen because we don't modify anything in the setter that would or could inadvertently modify click card again. You see what I mean? Requiring the lock. So yeah, we're safe on that one. Man, I was using Claude earlier. I found out about Claude. Claude is, as far as I know, the fastest the best AI for coding. Like, it's the best at coding. And I was asking about using Docker. I'm taking a course on learning Flask, REST APIs, and Docker and all that. And I asked Claude a question about it, and Claude like wrote up like a 300 line, maybe not 300, it was like a 100 line, maybe 200 line file using Flask and Docker and all this, and had it all set up in literally like 0.5 seconds. And man, looking grim for the programmer, especially ones like me that are 1,000 times slower than Claude. So hopefully they're just fast and not that smart, and they still need me to make sure Claude put his shit right. You know, maybe I'll just review Claude for a living. Anyway, alright, so I was jabbing at the jaw, and I didn't pay attention. Alright, so we're at click card active lock. Click card active, so let's check this one. And now this is turning out to be rather easy. Click card active lock only appears a couple places. Okay, so in the setter, this would be where it could be a problem. click card active, setter, we acquire the lock, and the question is, do we modify anything else? Click card active. Okay, so we do modify clickable card list and choose multiple cards. So if clickable card list modifies click card active, yeah, if clickable card list modifies click card active, specifically clear. So we need to look at Control-Alt-Z, so we need to check this, and then we need to also check choose multiple cards, because if those two are, if they recursively acquire the click card active lock, then we need it to be a reentrant block, which it currently is not. I think it's just a regular lock. So let's jump over to custom time list, and let's see if the clear method handles the is that all? Like, why did I define a core function if that's all it does? Whatever. So it doesn't do anything extra, so we're safe concerning that. So we do Control-Alt-N to go to the clickable card list clear, so that one's safe. See how useful this new bookmark extension is. Now we can check choose multiple cards, and I think that one is a calculated property. So we're gonna want to look at basically looking inside of the setter of choose multiple cards. So we will, let's see, and choose multiple cards does use a reentrant lock. So that one is, that doesn't necessarily mean anything related to our question, but if choose multiple cards is equal to true. Okay, so this is where we were just looking at. This is not where we need to be. Okay, here we go. Here's what we're looking for. Okay. Choose multiple cards. Setter. Okay. Choose multiple cards. Re-entry lock. Acquire. And then the core function doesn't. Oh, that's not true. Click card list clear, and then it does highlight clicked cards list bool. Oh, see, here we go. Click card active. Isn't that the one that we're checking? Isn't click card active the one we're checking? Am I right here or am I wrong? Okay. Okay, so let's break this down. So the one 954. So let me put a bookmark here, and we'll go to Control P. All right. So now we have, man, this is an awesome extension. We are looking at click card active. Click card active setter modifies in certain instances choose multiple cards, and then choose multiple cards Ziz setter modifies. We need to look at that one, and we also need to look at that one. It modifies click card active. Well, even if it accessed click card active, that would acquire the lock, which would be problematic, because so if we already had acquired the click card active lock, let me triple check this. Am I looking at the right name? Click card active. Yeah, it is click card active, and click card active. So we acquire that lock, then we enter into choose multiple cards as setter, which then would check click card active, and that would acquire the lock again, which would cause a deadlock. Yeah, so that needs to be changed to a re-entrant lock. This line requires click card active lock to be re-entrant. And so does this line. So yeah. And so does this line. Okay, so now we'll go back to so yeah, definitely click card active lock gets acquired, then we modify choose multiple cards setter, then modifies click card active, which would cause the lock to try to be acquired again, but since it's already acquired, it wouldn't be able to acquire it, which would cause a gridlock, or a deadlock rather, and that's not good. We don't want a deadlock. So let us go to, we can Control Alt Z this because we're done with that one. So we're going back to click card active, and let's see, click card active lock. Let's click right here and Control Shift F and add lock to this. And then we'll go to where it's defined, and we'll put this note, verified proper type of lock, and this is going to be re-entrant. So now we're going to change this to be called the click card active re-entrant lock. So now we're going to copy this, Control Shift F it, and we're also going to Control Y to redo. So we're going to be looking for the click card active lock, and we're going to replace that with click card active re-entrant lock. And I should have copied that. I'm dumb. So we're just gonna add in re-entrant, and I really don't like doing this, so let's copy that, make sure I got it spelled right. And now we're going to replace click card active lock with click card active re-entrant lock. We're just gonna go through here, and since they're all in this file, I can just do Control F, paste that, and we'll actually get rid of re-entrant, and then paste in the re-entrant namespace, and now we can just straight up replace it. Let's just make sure we have no extra spaces at the beginning or the end, so that's good to go. And let's make sure we're on the right selection here. Okay, so let's replace this with click card active reentrant lock. Card active reentrant. Click card reentrant lock to reentrant. Alright, there we go. So now we took care of that one. We can do Control Shift F, and this keyboard is honestly just so much better, bro. The fatigue is so much lower. It's great. I really like it. So now let's do Control Alt N. So this is, and I wonder if we could change the color of the bookmark. No. Okay. Anyway, that would be cool if we could modify the color of the bookmark. So this is choose multiple cards setter. Highlight click card list. Okay, so we can remove this one. Well, no, that's... Yeah, we can remove this one because we checked that. And I'm trying to remember exactly where we were in the, like, we were right here. So this is where we left off. So now let's go to our next one. Choose multiple cards. We already took care of that, so we can remove that bookmark. And now, click cards list clear. So concerning these two, since we already made the click card active lock into a reentrant lock for another reason, we don't really have to review these two because, well, technically we still do need to review them at some point, because if this was to recursively access something, well, it would already be handled though, because choose multiple cards lock is already a reentrant lock as well. So if either one of these modified choose multiple cards, and since click card active is implicated in this, then if they modified click card active, we would need it to be a reentrant lock. But since it's already a reentrant lock, then we should be safe here as concerning click card active lock. So we actually don't have to check either one of these. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit complicated, especially for me. I have a pea brain, so it's hard for me to understand lots of this stuff. I have to really focus and squint and all that, but I think I got that right. So let's do Control Alt N to go to next. So this is now click card active reentrant lock. Verified proper type of lock, which is reentrant. That is good to go. Now let's remove this bookmark and we'll go to the next one, which is the enter continue text active lock. So we'll do Control Shift F on this one to search the project for it, and it is currently a regular lock. We acquire it in the getter and then in the setter, but in the setter it looks like we don't do any extra activity. So okay, but if something else modified enter continue text active, well, but that wouldn't matter. Like if something else acquired If something else modified enter continue text active, that would just cause the setter or the getter to acquire its lock. And that's fine. And since there's nothing that happens derivatively within this that could re-trigger it to be acquired recursively, then we are safe. The only thing that does get modified is the enter continue text object. I didn't actually look at that. So let's do Control Shift F. But that one is, or doesn't matter if it's not transferred because we're looking for recursive. So the enter continue text object. Alright, so let's see. And which one were we concerned with? Did I put a bookmark on it? Let's put a bookmark here and then see if we have another one. Which we didn't because we're dumb. I gotta remember to add those bookmarks. Alright, then we have enter continue text object. And we set the rect. We change current card to dirty. Enter continue text object. We set that. We set the rect. Progression text object rect. Okay, so I think we're safe on this. I don't think rects are not like calculated properties. And this is the internal. And that's a rect. That's the internal. So yeah, I think we're safe on this one. But I forgot, I did it again. Let's remove this bookmark. So we're safe on that one. So Control Shift F, go back to lock. And which file were we in? So we were in, I want to say we were in game. Yeah, that's where we were. We were right here. Okay, so the enter continue text active lock, that was the one we just reviewed. And so let's put a bookmark here. Didn't forget this time. And yeah, we verified that it's safe because the enter continue text object modification doesn't cause another look into enter continue text active. And let's just be absolutely sure about that. Let me just triple check that real quick. I'm pretty confident, but I'm not 1000%. Let me just give it a twice over. So we have the internal, then the rect, internal, rect, rect, and that's it. So as long as the internal is obviously not going to be, but the rect, I'm pretty certain that's not like a property or anything. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we're safe. Yeah. Okay, cool. I was diligent and I double checked and we are safe. So now we can go to our next bookmark. So much better, dude. I'm so glad I spent the time to get this extension. 249 enter continue text active lock, threading lock. Alright, so this one, we go to next, we can undo that bookmark and undo this one, and we'll put verified proper type of lock non-reentrant for enter continue text active lock. And now let's check game state lock. game state lock is okay, so it's inside of the setter. And let's see, what does it do? It modifies the internal, and then it also modifies the game state list. So let's look at that one. This one could be problematic. And I forgot to put my bookmark there. So let's do Control Shift F. Whoops. Thought I had that copied, but I didn't. Alright, so let's look this up and see what we got going on here. So mirror game state list does not derivatively like modify anything, so we're safe on game state list. Game state list is not going to be requiring re-entrant lock. So that means we can remove the bookmark. We can copy this, paste it. So we already did input text final. Let's do multiple choice active lock. So let's acquire our bookmark, and I'm using lock language for bookmarking. It's funny. Do Control Shift F to find this lock. Looks like it appears in a getter and a setter. And the core function only modifies the internal attribute form, which is means that we are safe so we're good to go here. So that one was easy. And do Control Alt N, multiple choice active lock, remove the bookmark. And we did verify it's the proper type of lock. Now we'll check this one, set the bookmark, Control Shift F, check it out. We have the acquisition of the lock, and this is multiple choice text 1 lock, and we got a lot going on here. So we have the prior multiple choice text object rect, which is definitely not a property, so we need to check that. The internal is going to be safe. Well, and this is for client side. So this only happens client side, and we don't use locks at all on client side, right? So like, we don't even need to check this part. Yeah. Since we don't use locks on the client side, we literally don't even have to check this at all. Point blank period. The end. And so that means we're safe on this one. Let's do Control N to jump back to that. Take away the bookmark and copy this. We don't need a re-entrant lock there. And multiple choice text 2 lock is probably gonna be the same thing, but let's just be diligent and check it. So it setter does the prior multiple choice text 2 object rect, which is gonna be a non, it's not gonna have any auxiliary functions associated with it, so it should be safe. The internal use is also gonna be safe. Client side, remember, we don't use locks on the client side at all, so we're going to be safe on this one as well. So let's go back over here, Control Alt N. We get rid of this bookmark, copy this, paste it in. Now we're going to check progression text lock, setting the bookmark first, Control Shift F, go over here. And Okay, in the setter we modify the progression text object, so we're going to need to check that. And then client side, we're not going to need to check this because well, actually, since we would only modify this in the case that we were on the client side, then shouldn't we check client side first? Because if we're client side, we don't need to check this at all. So this would have to be an and. We could literally just change this to be and if self progression text object is not equal to none and SS or CS is CS, only then would we make this modification, which means we actually don't need to check it. So we can change this to be and. So we'll put this up here and we'll check SS or CS first because that just makes more sense. We'll copy this, get rid of this, back that indent up, and then we'll say and self progression text object is not equal to none. So we're checking if SS or CS is CS and self progression text object is not equal to none. So if we're on the client, if we're on client side, we'll check this next part, but if not, we won't. We'll just break away. And since on client side we don't handle locks at all because it's all single threaded, then we don't need to worry about this. Okay, then we modify the internal, which is safe. This is all client side, so we don't have to check that because client side doesn't handle the locks. And so this skipped a huge chunk of code, so it looks like we're safe there. We took care of that lock, and now we'll do Control-Alt-N to jump back to it. We'll get rid of this bookmark and paste in this copied message. Now we're checking selected choice lock. So let's see what we got here, but we forgot to acquire the bookmark. Okay, so inside of this one, we are only modifying the internal form, so we're safe on that. So we can jump straight back to it. That one was easy. Let go of that bookmark, copy this, paste that in, and we already checked that one. Okay, so now we'll just do Control-Shift-F for lock and make sure we don't have any more bookmarks, which we don't. So we were in client and we were at line 256. No, that's not right. We were in a different file. I'm sorry. We were in game. Yeah, we were game, and we were at. Okay, so we went all the way through these. Okay. Yep, we did all these. Okay. Next we have this stuff. Alright, so game state lock, which we already checked. Yeah, so anything that says self lock here, we know we already checked it. Anything that's a self lock, we already checked it, so we can just skip right past all of these. Okay. skip right past all this. This is really good. We got 12 more minutes for our hour, and that's probably all I'll do today. It is a Sunday, so you're supposed to take it easy on Sunday, right? Alright. So, looks like we're probably going to be done with this file. Just looking, making sure we're being thorough here. Alright. Good to go. Good deal. Good deal. So this is the text input active lock. What are we doing here exactly? Text input active. But we already reviewed all the game object locks, so we don't have to worry about that. So we can also skip past these. So anything that says game object lock, we can skip it. Cool. Lock server. The con locks. So the con locks, hold up, okay, so I just skimmed past something that wasn't paying full attention. Let's go back up here. The con 1 lock and the con 2 lock, so those, okay, so we need to review this. The con 1 and con 2 lock, do they need to be reentrant? So let's put a bookmark here and here, and let's start with con 1 lock. Let's check this out, see what we got going on here. Okay, so then we refer to it through the namespace of con lock or other con lock. So let's look for con lock. Alright, so with other con lock we send all. Yeah, that should be safe. Send all, then we acquire. Yeah, so none of this is going to be recursive. Yeah, none of this is going to be recursive. Yeah, so we're safe on conlock, and conlock 2 is going to be the same, so I'm just going to go ahead and say we're safe on that one as well. So let's do Control Alt N, and we can verify that these are the proper type of lock. So we'll just put verified proper type of lock, non-reentrant, and we'll copy this and paste that in. And so we're good here. We can just keep on going. Okay, so we just go back to lock. And we were in server. We were all the way in server. Or actually, weren't we in progression? Do I have another? I don't. I'll just go to progression since I forgot. Okay, yeah, we did go all the way through these. We were in server. Right, so we were right there. Con 1 lock, con 2 lock, we just checked those. Okay, so now we have the C1 to C2 transfer lock and the C2 to C1 transfer lock. And we want to make sure, let's put a bookmark here and a bookmark here. And now let's do Control Shift F and we'll check this out. So then we refer to it. So if we assign the Alright. Transfer lock equals self C1 to C2 transfer lock. So we need to look up transfer lock namespace and also this line which appends to the transfer list, and the transfer list isn't like, it's not a it's not a custom append list or anything like that, so yeah, it's just a regular list, so we're safe on that one. And now we can go back to our bookmark, Control Alt N, so we're safe here and then we're safe there. And now let's do Control Shift F, go back to lock, and we are all the way past server. Where were we here? So this is basically it. we're finally finished here. So we did the con lock. So this is where we had stopped. 2 more minutes left. Change attribute reentrant lock. We know that's proper. Oops, I forgot. Let's put our verified proper type of lock non-reentrant, and I can just tell you for sure that this new keyboard it's working really well. Here, that one is proper. We don't even need to worry about that. We already took care of those. Yeah, all this is taken care of. This is transfer lock. We already looked at those. $25. Conlock. Alright, yeah, all this is going to be taken care of. Alright, we did it. That was it. Cool. So we made it through this task and we're done. Right on time too, like we literally finished on the mark. So this was a good little task. It did take some time, but you know, things take time. That's how it is. And Control Alt N. Okay, so even if you close out a file, which is cool, if you accidentally close out a file that was bookmarked, the bookmark still exists and will still appear if you try to access it using Control Alt N or P. So things to do, current issue. Alright, so let's go over here, and so we're done for the day, and we did really good. Well, actually we're gonna say 5:11 because we're gonna, so it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. We'll just say 1 hour. We went to 5:09 and we finished reviewing all locks to ensure proper type, reentrant / non-reentrant. Alright, now we're going to stage, commit, and push our changes. So we'll change the time here to 5:10 to 5:11, and then we'll copy that. We'll first check our branch to make sure we're on the right branch. We are. So now let's do git add dot, and then we'll do git commit -m double quotes. We'll paste this in double quotes, bam, and we successfully committed those changes. Now we're going to do git push Canasta secondary, and that's going to push to our remote repository, which happened successfully. And now we can exit out of this. What are we going to do next time? Next time Okay, so we check all, see if the interviewer internet. We did that. Next time we have reduced delay time. No, we're gonna leave that. CS shared object mod. What video section wondered whether we need this logic at all. Changes with after list. Okay, so I guess we'll check this out next because I don't even know what this is talking about, but we'll knock this off the list. So I'll put that under current issue, and yeah, so we'll do that next time. I'm just looking through these real quick. Receive verification logic. Yeah, that's technically not implemented yet. Search project list to find other places where we are errantly reassigning custom list instances to different list copies. Ah, yeah, that's true. That could be an issue. And so we'll put this towards the top, and basically reduce delay time is going to be left. Enter continue text func wait time too fast. Alright. Ooh, look at that, dude. We are basically done here. Well, not completely, but we're like really getting close here. This is we're down to the final tasks, dude. Ooh, this is exciting. Really exciting, dude. Holy shit. Other play cards invisible. Yeah, this is the last of it, dude. Like, as far as actual issues like that like need to be checked or fixed. Hopefully just checked and not even fixed would be better. So we got, let's see how many we got left here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And like re-enable sound is just like enabling a line. That's like 5-minute task, not even. Yeah, so I'm gonna say this is, we'll just say 1 hour each. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more hours, and then we have our non-pressing issues. And I would just go ahead and say like 80% of these are basically just gonna get deleted as soon as I look at them after 10 minutes max. And there's probably like 30 of those, so we're gonna say, you know, I don't know. We'll probably say another 10 hours or whatever. So we're looking at 20 more hours, dude, and this is just gonna be done. And then I'm gonna, so I've been learning about whatchamacallit, I've been learning about taking this class on Udemy, and it's a Flask, REST API, and Docker to create web apps, you know, in like a professional way. And I may end up using that. I don't know if I can actually like do that without having to like convert things in a major way, and if that's the case I might not, but if so, that would be the next like step other than the database. Like we also want to add in a database, so after like we finish these tasks and we get it nice and clean, and you know, maybe adjust a couple little minor visual bugs that exist, like that card that skips across the screen, that would be the next step, would be adding a database and then hosting it online, like deploying it to where there's like a, I don't know. I'm kind of looking a little too far ahead. I don't want to get ahead of myself. It's a 90-90 rule, and it's actually true. You think you're 90% done, that means you got 90% left instead of 10%. So there is that. Anyway, still exciting, still getting closer. The database edition, I don't think database edition is going to be very hard. I think that's going to be relatively easy. I don't think the language SQL or whatever is hard. I've actually learned that, some of it already. I don't think that's going to be a very difficult thing to do. We do need to add in a perfect save state, which might be really hard to add in. That's like the final feature, other than adding in ways to account for certain like data loss over the network, which we've implemented some of that. It shouldn't take me too long to do the network loss thing. Maybe, you know, hopefully like under 5 hours for that task. And then the other one, which was I just said it and I just lost it immediately after thinking about the other one is oh yeah, the perfect save system. The perfect save system might be a little harder. Like, I could probably figure something out and simplify it. That's usually the case. When I learn something new, a new concept, I implement it, and it's like a square wheel, and then I realize like, oh yeah, I could have made that wheel like a lot more round, and then it becomes like an octagon or like a pentagon, and then I realize, oh, it's not really round enough. Let's redo it again, and then it turns into an octagon. I'm like, oh, that's still not right. It needs to be a round wheel, and then finally it ends up being a perfect circle. And so like, and you know, a circle is really simple. An octagon is a lot more complicated, you know what I mean? So as you understand things more thoroughly, they become less complicated, and therefore you can implement them in a much more simple way because you understand them in a way that is simple. So anyway, good session. Happy to get to the next step, the next few steps. Damn, I'm like, look like a freaking ghost in this light. I don't know why. It's because it's dark out, and yeah, I literally look like a ghost. Anyway, let's go and make a local backup. So we'll go to projects. We'll go into Canasta. We'll copy this one. We'll go out. We'll go to the backup. We delete this old one. We paste it in and paste it. Me pasty. Get it? Anyway. So we go to text devlog, go to the end. 11:10, that's the date, so it's up to date. And now we can go back here. We'll change this to 11:10, and hopefully I can get back into the swing of like coding every single day and not like every 3 days. I had just been super busy with life stuff and handling another big like project in my life that is separate from programming, but was taking up a significant amount of the time that I would have used to code instead. So now that that's basically taken care of, I should be able to get right back into that cycle of coding every day. We are about to hit peak season at my job. It's basically here in like a week or two. We're gonna be really busy, and I'm hopefully gonna be driving at work, and I work at UPS, so hopefully I'll actually be driving and I won't even be able to code for a little while. I hate to say that, but I really need the money, because I make more money during peak season from like December to January than I do in like the 3 months prior to that, or 4 months even. Basically make 4 months pay in 1 month, roughly. So it's a lot of money. Anyway, see you next time, guys. Have a good day, night rather, and see you tomorrow hopefully. Peace.